Okay, so I took a left where I shouldn't have taken a left, but apparently there is like a fossil bed overlook, and I got time to kill before I meet Mr. Nest Up Productions. Such an awesome guy. Why not? Is this it? Maskell Formation Overlook. It's kind of the highlands of Oregon out here, I guess. You know, my dad talked about the desert highlands. Every once in a while you go through a really forested area and it's beautiful. And then come over here. So let's see what these Maximus Gluteus fossil overlooks have in store for us. Oh my gosh, bathrooms. How nice would that have been this morning? I ran out of toilet paper. And I tell you what, baby wipes happen to be quite frosty. Wow. It's kind of cool. Like icing on a cake. An expanding plain. Well, that's pretty cool, I guess. A lot of animals in that picture. All right, well, I'm more excited to get into that crazy awesome canyon over there, aren't you? Yeah, let's get to it. Beautiful valley right here, though. That was a nice place to camp, despite my poor choice in precise spots. Alright guys, so I know I was kind of snarky there, and Oregon honestly is absolutely beautiful, whether it's the desert highlands or through this epic canyon right here. Oregon was amazing, so I was just being snarky. I just kind of thought like, oh, scenic overlook, it's gonna be really cool. And it was, I mean, it was, but yeah, Utah is kind of full of that stuff, so I'm just being snarky. Okay, so now is a perfect time to go over some of those amazing questions that you guys gave me. Here's one. It's what parts of your body became uncomfortable most often, and what did you do or wish you could do to become more comfortable? Well, that's a good question. Obviously, on a motorcycle, the thing that's going to get the sore the most is your neck from wind fatigue, if you have a pretty good windscreen, and your butt and your hands. And maybe your legs. Now, I was geared up in full, basically motocross armor. I don't go motorcycling without my motocross boots, without my knee guards, without my full chest and arm armor, and obviously a helmet. And on this trip, I wore a neck brace type of thing as well, just a small neck brace, because I did anticipate going and doing motocross, and really what better places to pack that stuff than on yourself. So you might think to yourself, oh, that must have been uncomfortable to be so at-gat or all the gear all the time. And truthfully, it was fine. Now as for my behind, the beginning of the trip was a little bit rough with the stock seat, but I did replace it with a Seat Concepts commuter for the KLR 650, and man, that seat is nice. It's got a big, huge, like, wide area on the back of the seat, and honestly, that made a huge difference. Another thing that made a big difference was I got some sheepskin, which you'll see here in a minute, that really helped. It kind of allows the airflow to go through there, and so you don't really get that monkey butt thing going on. It's quite nice. Now, another big tip for comfort is to take the peak off of your helmet. That's kind of the bill or the visor over your eyes that come on a lot of adventure helmets these days. And that thing is useful, and it works pretty good for deflecting dirt and stuff like that, but at highway speeds, on a lot of budget helmets, it can be like a big sail. So some people don't complain about it. If you are noticing neck fatigue or shoulder fatigue or back fatigue even, then try taking that thing off. You can strap that peak down somewhere else and use it later, but it's nice just to have that thing off so you don't get blown around in the wind so much. Now, one of the biggest things that you might not think of is your hands, actually. Your hands are always on the grips unless you have some kind of a cruise control, and so your left hand's going to be okay, but your right hand is always on the throttle, especially on a dual sport motorcycle without, you know, some kind of a cruise control type thing. And it can get kind of fatigued. Now, something that my buddy Franklin gave to me
which I'll feature his channel later in the series. But he actually gave me a cramp buster, and I never really was a believer in those things. I just thought they were silly. But after riding long distance without one and with one, I can highly recommend that. Now, obviously, they're not sponsoring me, but I think that's a good investment for anybody going long distance to get if you don't have a cruise control. So on to the next thing that is kind of vital in my opinion. And a lot of people get sketchy with this because of safety issues and hearing and things like that. But I really like to use earplugs, not in town, but when I'm out in the desert, in the middle of the desert, or when I'm, riding on the freeway, that wind noise in my helmet or that sound of my exhaust rapid through the desert, I can't really hear much anywhere, so I might as well protect my hearing. Now, earplugs do a couple of things. They do protect your hearing, but they lower your situational awareness because you can't hear. However, if you can't hear due to wind noise anyway, then it's kind of a wash. So I really like to wear earplugs. It's a personal preference, you do what you want, but I thought earplugs made the trip vastly more comfortable, especially with all the wind noise on the long distance parts of it. So you guys, you can see links to a lot of these things down below in the description. Please use those links. Some of them are affiliate links, some of them aren't, but they're all recommended by me whether I get paid for them or not. I think it's great stuff to have. So anyway, I made it to my destination, Prineville. Here's that.
Oh, here's Prineville. Oh my gosh, Prineville! We made it! Gotta stop at the Best Western. Cool, Prineville. Hey, Smokey the Bear. Hey, Bears. We're gonna have breakfast at the Apple Peddler. This is country breakfast, $5.95. Sounds pretty good, assuming it doesn't give me massive diarrhea.
Good luck that it didn't. It was actually really tasty, and afterwards it was nice just to sit down and wait for a little while for a guy that maybe you've heard of, but if you haven't, you definitely have to check him out. His name's Mr. Nest Up Productions from Oregon. He basically treated me through the whole next week, you guys. Such a legendary guy. Go ahead and click on this link right here on screen, or there's a link in the description to check out his video. And as soon as you see that video, I know you're gonna think to yourself, oh my gosh, I've got to subscribe to this guy if you're not already. But definitely check out Nest Up Productions, guys. He's a great adventure writer, a great friend, and he seriously showed me such an awesome week. So make sure to check him out, give him a like, give him a subscribe, and tell him hi from Everride, and tell him to get his butt back down here to St. George so we can shred again. Well, guys, thanks again for watching. We'll have more on all of the adventure with Ness coming up soon. Have a great day. Everride out.